Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're gonna play some Red Dragons. So this deck is all built around red dragons. Well, obviously by the name it suggests, right? Red Magmatic Hellkite, Nova Hellkite, and sort of Twinmaw Stormbrood. These are the dragons that made this deck stand out. The whole idea is that I don't know how many people still remember this. We had a Dragon Storm set came out, I don't know, maybe like 17 days ago. It's called, inside there was a red creature called Sarkhan Dragon Ascent, which is kind of the theme of the deck, or theme of the set was just dragons. This is a 2-mana, 2/2 human druid, but this says, when Sarkhan enters, you may behold a dragon, which means reveal a dragon from your hand, or show a dragon we have on board. If we do, we can get a free treasure. And then, whenever a dragon you control enters, we get a +1/+1 counter our Sarkhan. He becomes a dragon himself, and he flies. So, that is all very good of an ability in a 2-mana. It's basically a 2-mana 3/3 flyer if we're able to follow Sarkhan up with a creature, or with a dragon. And we're able to do that very easily. For 4 mana, we can get a Magmatic Hellkite. But for just 3 mana, we can also warp in a Nova Hellkite. This warp is insane, because when you warp in a Nova Hellkite, it goes into the exile zone, in which then you can do it again, giving you double ETB triggers. Double ETB triggers, not just on the Nova Hellkite's damage, but also on Sarkhan's +1/+1 counter. So, all of that is to say, this is how we expect to win, right? This is how we expect to overrun our opponent with a lot of red creatures that are not just rats, we're dragons. Are dragons better than rats? I guess we're going to find out today. Alright, so let's talk about the deck list. Turn 1, we have some very good cards in 4 Higher Claw and 4 Burnout Bashtronaut. Right now, in red, these are probably the best 1-drops that we can have. We don't have Heartfire Heroes anymore. Higher Claw is pretty good because every time we attack, we get to deal an extra damage to our opponent. If we're attacking with a lizard, Higher Claw is a lizard, so basically it means every time he attacks. We also have Burnout Bashtronaut, which has Start Your Engine, but it also has Menace. Very importantly, your opponent cannot block Burnout with 1 blocker. They have to block him with 2, making it a little bit difficult to block. And since it's a 1-mana 1/1 with Start Your Engine, or the Start Your Engine, in the beginning, it doesn't matter as much. 1-mana 1/1 that we can pump, we can start dealing a lot more damage as the games go on. And once the engine, or our speed, gets to max speed, or speed 4, he has double strike. So every time we attack, we're not just dealing 1 damage, we're dealing 2 damage, and every 2-mana pump is actually dealing 2 more damage. So it's a lot easier to burst our opponent out just with these early game creatures alone. But then in turn 2, we have, well, first of all, we have 4 Sarkhan, which I already talked about. We also have 2 Magda. Magda is an insane card when combo with Higher Claw. Because imagine we play turn 1 Higher Claw, turn 2 we'll play Magda, Higher Claw attacks, it will deal 1 damage to target opponent, which is a crime, and that means Magda give us the treasure. So immediately we'll get a tap treasure going to turn 4, which means that all of our 2-mana play is likely to give us 4 mana on turn 3. That's very important, right? Turn 3, of course, or 3 mana, we have a Screaming Nemesis. This is always a very good card. Make sure that our opponent can't really block effectively against whatever we're doing. And Screaming Nemesis, we can always combo that with Burst Lightning to make sure our opponent isn't gaining any life. And then turn 4, actually no, I haven't finished yet. Turn 3, we also have 4 Nova Hellkite on the warp. So if we don't draw Screaming Nemesis, we still have a 3-mana play that does 1 damage to our opponent's board, kill a land war elf or something, and then attack for 4 damage. Buff Sarkhan, so Sarkhan can attack for 3 damage. It goes away, but it'll come back next turn. So that is very exciting. And the best thing about it is, imagine we have 2 mana for Sarkhan, right? 3 mana, we can play Nova Hellkite, but Sarkhan still gave us the treasure, which we're saving. Going into turn 4, now we can have 5 mana, with the extra treasure. We can use that to play Hellkite again. So turn 1 Sarkhan, turn 2 Sarkhan, turn 3 Hellkite, turn 4 Hellkite again, and now Sarkhan's a 4/4, and we dealt a total of, I don't know, this will be 12 plus 3, 15 damage. Oh yeah, that's 15 damage just with those 2 cards alone. Insane. We also have Magmatic Hellkite, which is turn 4, we get to blow up our opponent's land. It doesn't blow it up, permanently, because we destroy target non-basic land, and our opponent gets to search for a basic, and put it onto the battlefield with a stun counter, meaning that it is stunned for a turn. It's a delay, but with this red deck, right, we're so aggressive that delay most likely will kill our opponent. But that's no idea. And then we have the removal card. So we have 4 Burst Lightning. That's really not much to talk about. Burst Lightning with Screaming Nemesis is already insane, but Burst Lightning itself is pretty good as a 1-mana shock that we could pay 5, kick her for 4 to deal 4 damage instead and really close out games. And then we have 2 mana removals, 1 Lightning Strike, 2 Obliterating Bolts, and then we have 4 Twinmaw Stormbroods. So the Twinmaw Stormbrood isn't really a dragon, right? It does give us the dragon side of the creature so that we can behold for Sarkhan, but mostly it's just a 2-mana Charring Bite that will deal 5 damage to our creature without flying and destroy our opponent's blockers if we need to. The best part is, if our opponent doesn't have any creatures or they're playing control, we can just Charring Bite our own Screaming Nemesis, and that will be 5 damage to our opponent and stops them from gaining life. That's insanely good. And then, of course, our land base. Now, we do have a lot of dragons that we want to curve out into, so we kind of curve into 4. That being the case, we want to have 24 lands total. That's 18 mountains, 3 Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon, and 3 Soulstone Sanctuary. So Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon is pretty good in this deck because we can sacrifice it if we're flooded. We can sacrifice it to search for a dragon, search for a Hellkite, and we just close out the game that way. Hellkite is a 3 mana 4 damage. 3 mana 4 damage is actually a lot in a lot of matchups where our opponents already got burned so much to the face that they're about to die, right? That's our closer if we need an extra closer. And that's the whole idea of the deck. Now let's see how fast this deck can go. Alright, our opponent is Gui09. He's very Gui. Oh, how Gui is he? 2 landers still. We'll say hi. I can't even go first when I play a red deck, so that goes to show. Here's a higher claw. I haven't hired a claw you. Tap land go? Tap land go. Alright. I'm gonna Magma him. This does give us the little crimey crime. I love the crimey crime. Gives me a chance to Hellkite next turn too. Really slow him down. Does he have a counter spell with this mana? I guess it couldn't hurt to attack first, right? This is not haste. Alright, get to destroy one of his lands. Blow it up. You can get a basic land out of your deck. Mr. 3-color deck. He's got planes. Right, this is flood. This is flood to the highest degree now. I could Nova. He's got no creatures for me to Nova. Did I do it anyways? I think so. Let's see if he wants to counter this. Man, he's got like 4 colors. No more lies. I will buff this. For that extra damage. Bring him down to 5. You're gonna ultimate me? He is gonna ultimate me. So I'm glad I got that damage too. Primo Screamo. Yeah, the flood. When I had 23 lands, I play 2 landers every game. When I have 24 lands, I draw 7 lands out of like 12 cards. Oh, okay. Is it an Aetherized turn? Am I seeing an Aetherized turn? He licks my face. Alright. Guess we'll Hellkite him again. Blow up your Godless Shrine. He has a 1 mountain in his deck. It's kind of weird. Does he still have basics? How many basics does this deck run? Six mana, nothing. 6 mana, nothing. Okay, okay, I have 7 mana, right? Not quite, so I guess I just warp this in. Inevitable defeat. Alright, he still dies. GG. I guess you foretold your own defeat. Alright, our opponent is Feel Rocks. No, he doesn't. We all know he doesn't. Oh my god, is that a go first? No card draws though. That's the harsh reality of the go first world. So we'll get a Bashtronaut out there. Maybe we'll attack. He is menacing. Okay, if he's slow, and we're gonna get the aggro on him, and then we're gonna flood. Yikes. I mean, my Bastronaut's definitely not gonna get to any crazy round where we can double strike for a lot of damage. I don't see that happening. I guess I can sack the Spirit Dragon for a dragon. Voice of Victory. I mean, we kind of have to do it here, right? Kill it with fire. Voice of Victory again. And a Seam Rip. Seems like a pretty good card to get, especially with our opponent going first and we're drawing 6 lands out of 8 cards. What? Wait. I got 6 lands out of 8 cards. Let's see. I drew that, and I Alright, put 1 back. That's why. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well. Just gonna shout at him a little bit. Not even gonna attack with the Nemesis. Would I? Ooh. That's a question, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna attack with the Nemesis. If he has a removal, he has a removal. Nothing I can do about that. But attacking with a Nemesis just makes it so that I can't block. Collector's Cage. That's a card. Second Collector's Cage. Wow, okay, he's caging. He's not gonna attack. Yep. Ooh, that's a Storm Maul. Can I kill him? 3, 5. That's 8. 9, 10. I can do this twice, right? If I do this twice, it's 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. Not quite. Almost, but not quite. So if that's the case, maybe we don't do it? Oh, that feels bad. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna bite that off. We'll activate it twice. When we have a chance to. Might as well. I don't need that treasure, I need the damage. I am flooded. to smithereens. He's got a Soulstone Sanctuary. And perhaps a Boar Wife? No, an Elspeth. Well, does Elspeth stop it?
I light the path to victory. Evil falls to its death.
I guess he has that, right? That's technically... Well, doesn't this attack just kill him? What does he have? He's tapped out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I think this kills him. GG. We got not just perfect lethal, we're gonna get a little bit more, but good enough. A win is a win. Alright, our opponent is Yokoi. Okay, Yokoi. Don't want to have capital letters. Opponent goes first. Of course they do. Magda to 2 Hellkites is okay, I guess. Flings nothing. Mountain nothing. Top 5 card may remove a mount creature or a plains card, put it into your hand. I don't even know if I care about this. And I decided I don't. Here's a Magda. I mean, Magda's probably not long for this world, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Play a talent. Oh, okay. It's gonna make a doll. Annoying, yes, but we can work with it. If I Nova here, I get a treasure. I get a tap treasure. If I play this, isn't that burst lining? I get a regular treasure. Do I need to do that? This feels the curve a little better. Dollhouse. Oh, interesting deck. He needs to attack for the dollhouse to be active, and he doesn't have haste creatures, I don't think. Endure Innocence. And then he attacks. Okay. Well. We can Sarkhan. Yeah, we can Sarkhan here. We'll behold our Nova Hellkite, because we are going to do it again. I'll shoot it off, make another treasure, and now I fly. You can bring that back. It's fine with me. Next turn I can Screaming Nemesis and shoot it with my Twinmaw, which most likely will kill him. That's 5 damage to his face. And I can sack the treasures. Can I? No, I cannot. Okay, he just leaves too. That's fine too. GG. Very strong opening. Alright, our opponent is Ocean Hai. Ocean Hai. Hai. We go first. That's a workable go first hand. Nothing too fancy, but we got some removals to hit the to hit those. You know, gotta get rid of every creature we can. Oh, another Twinmaw. Sarkhan. You can see a Twinmaw here. Bristly Bill. Bill is pretty bristly here. Do I want to deal 5 to it? I could just deal 2 to it, but let's deal 5 to it. Feel our curve a little better, and we can pay 5 for Burst Lightning just to deal 4. Now, I am going to run out of removal. Lickly Split. He's going to draw a land in his deck. Cool. Then he plays that land, then he says go. I'm guessing a Hydra full hand. Now we have a 2-3 on a higher claw. Maybe a traveling chocobo. Do I shoot it off right now? You could have a protection spell. I mean, this does fill my mana a little better, so I gotta do what I gotta do. There's a veil. Oh, I got a bolt. Cool. Bring him down to 10. There's the Hydra. Now, does he have another protection spell? He could, right? That's kind of the issue if he has another protection spell. Land we're off? Do I want to jump directly into combat though? If I play this, then my Sarkhan flies, deals 3. This also deals 3, but if I attack with higher claw, he'll die. I can also use the Twinmaw to shoot the Mossborn Hydra. I don't like that too much. Can he play 3 lands next turn? Oh, there was no stick whatsoever. If there's no stick whatsoever, I say I kill the Hydra. Ah, GG. Take that, Chocobo. Get all your stuff removed. Alright, our opponent is Rossino13. Rossino. We gotta go first. I mean, we do get to go first, but there's a bunch of zero impact cards here. This is better. This is way better. We'll keep. Probably put away the Hellkite. Hellkite is good, but Screaming Nemesis is better. And I don't think I can justify putting away a land with 2 3-drops in my hand. I could also put away the higher claw. Yeah, you know what? That makes more sense. Because I don't want to play 2 higher claw on turn 2. I can just buff one of my higher claws. Right, playing the second higher claw on turn 2 might look relevant, but it really isn't. Until I draw it anyways. Then I reconsider. Because I could have a 2-3, or I can have... This attack does 3 damage. I say I do it. What is he gonna do? Pump his Siren? That would be a bad idea. But not pumping his Siren will also be a bad idea, so... Let's see what he does. He does pump his Siren. I don't think he wants a Zenith yet. So what else is he gonna do? Can't be a Pixie here. I think I play this. Now, Nemesis is not great. It's got 1 white mana. I think I'm just gonna warp this in. Everybody get in there. Now if he blocks the higher claw, we trade. And and I deal a lot of damage to him. The Hellkite goes away, but, you know, I think it's fine that I traded a higher claw with the Spyglass Siren and still dealt some damage. Esper Pixie. The Tragic Trajectory was the last 2 cards, or last 2 mana. What card are you going to play with the last 2 mana? Most likely a counterspell, from the looks of it. Nope, just takes that 3 damage. I mean, Screaming Nemesis isn't that good against this kind of deck because they just have kill spells. Like Momentum Breaker, that would break my Nemesis. And then he Nurturing Pixies. And then draw a land. Well, this is riveting gameplay right here. You can also sack the Maelstrom, get me a dragon, but no, I don't think this will do. I'm sure he would just chunk. But if you have more Momentum Breaker with Pixies, I'm just out. Right? That's the harsh reality. Not a Pixie. Storm Chaser's Talent, that's... I mean, it's not fine, but at least it gives me free value. With Hellkite. Shoot that. And we'll attack for 4. 1 Lightning Strike away from winning, but there is only 1 Lightning Strike in it. Did I use it already? I only put 1 Lightning Strike in the deck. You shot my Sheriff! You monster! Alright. Yeah, there's only 1 Lightning Strike in the deck. Now, there could be a justification for holding a mana just to Maelstrom for a dragon there. I don't know if that's necessary. Alright, well... Now, Where to Run's gonna kill my Burnout Bashtronaut. No way of me buffing it. Not a sorcery, right? Nope. Relic. Draws a card. What else is he gonna do? He's got 2 mana. He can sack his Momentum Breaker. Fear of Isolation. I think I can do this. We'll see. It's gonna get tricky, so I'm gonna get a Hellkite here. I think 5 mana is enough, right? So I will bolt this. Then I work this in for 3. And I attack for 4. Ah, GG. Good game, Pixie. I don't know why the GG didn't show up, but good game anyways. Alright, our opponent is... Lowry. Lowry? That G is throwing me off. Okay, we have a good hand. That being said, our opponent's going first, so a lot of times good hands can become nothing if our opponent is too aggressive. We'll see what happens. Go Spirit Dragon. Form of go first. Ah, Flanks. Okay, a Lifestyle as well. Which one do we care the least out? Probably the Bolt. Yeah. If he does it again, then I guess we can take out... I don't know. Honestly, yeah, I don't know. Do I Sarkhan next turn? Okay, not blocking that. 2 mana, nothing. So, I could attack here. I won't get the speed. but he's not likely to block, which will keep my creature on board. Is he gonna block? Yeah, he's not gonna block. Now I play with Bashtronaut, I don't get the extra speed. One speed behind, but you know, it is what it is. Resplendent. That's an interesting angel. A 2-1 attacking me. Do I care? I don't care. So the question is, do I care about this Resplendent though? I could bolt it. I don't know if you can gain 5 life next turn. It might be more relevant just to do this. Boom. He's not gonna block the Sarkhan, is he? That would be insane for me to remove his whole board for nothing. Yep. Alright. Now the Hellkite goes away. He sees basically all of my plays at this point. Get Exemplar of Light. Sure. He does have an Exemplar of Light, but this is whenever you gain life with Sun's Encounter on this creature. This costs 6 mana to activate, so I don't care as much. I don't want him to draw cards. Bring it down even lower. And we got the speed going. No, we don't. That's 3. I got excited for a second. If I attack with a higher claw, I do get the speed going next turn. Second Resplendent. Okay, it seems like this is all he has. So I think he's gonna explode now. Right? Right? Because after this creature, it jumped directly into combat. So it means that he couldn't play those 2 cards. Could be a combat trick, but definitely not tempo creatures. And the Hellkite's gonna get him next turn, because when it comes in, my Sarkhan's be a 4/4. And I'll even attack with a higher claw, so the Bashtronaut gets double strike. And that means if the Bashtronaut and the Hellkite gets in, they will die. They can't block the Bashtronaut unless they double block. Oh, Obliterating Bolt. Okay, no, but I'm still doing this. I don't think that matters as much. Yeah, everybody get in there. Double strike time. So, for him to live, he has to block the Sarkhan and the Hellkite. I think that's the plan. Unless he's got like a get lost. Then he can kill one of them and then only block one. I still don't know. Even with all that. Like, it's good, and he can even life gain next turn and make an angel. But I can just shoot the Resplendent. And I will still have a pretty commanding lead of the game. So I can pay 4 mana to activate a Soulstone Sanctuary next turn. And then after declaring combat, declaring attacker with the Soulstone, I can tap it in the mountain. No, wait, Bolt of Sorcery. Never mind, I talked too fast because our opponent's playing too slow. But GG. Alright, our opponent is the Uruk Blade. Very red feeling opponent. I only have 1 mountain, so I'm gonna have to leverage that 1 mountain. Thankfully, Higher Call Magda is like a broken combo. Honestly, like I should steer into this more. We need more Magda in the deck. Higher Call Magda is so good. Oh, not red. Never mind. Higher Claw's gone. He's not able to scream at all. I mean, it has no ability, so... Play a creature, please. Or don't, you jerk. Is this even a... It is a lizard. So... it does mean that if I have another higher claw, that this higher claw would trigger its attack. Okay, he's taking that damage. So you're gonna... Yeah, there's no reason to bounce the Hellkite. Our opponent might bounce our Magda. 2 Botanic Sanctums. Now a Verge. Oh yeah. I mean, it does do what I said it will, but it's gonna be an awkward play. And this counters it. Haha! Got you! You might think I'm attacking with a 0-2, but... Wow, he just quit after that. That was fun. For me, not for him. For him, it must have sucked. Alright, our opponent is... What is that? Ichibi? I don't know, but he is an initiate. And he gets to go first. Initiates always goes first, right? Only fair. Come on, now we're off. Thank you. Let's get rid of that, shall we? I don't want to see it. No elves. No turn 1 elves, please. Oh, come on. I said no turn 1 elves. It also includes no turn 2 elves. I don't think I want to let him ram. Does he have like a protection spell on the elf? He does have a protection spell on the elf. That's... I mean, okay. So it is Chocobo deck. Yeah, none of this helps, right? But he is out of stuff. How do I want to do this? I play the Screaming Nemesis, and then I scream at him. I don't think he gets 2. He just gets to double the landfall trigger. He doesn't get 2 lands. Traveling Chocobo is a good card. So is Terramorphic Expanse. He's coming in for damage. Okay, he's getting his landfall triggers. He's gonna Bushwhack for another land? Is that... Why would you... You already played a land, right? So you can't play another land, can he? No. He cannot play another land. He could only do that, so... I can Sarkhan, get the treasure, and then use it on a Nova Hellkite. Behold! Behold! The Hellkite! I mean, he can buff the Chocobo pretty high up. But until he has Trample, it won't matter as much. And I have Flying, which will matter a lot. This is quite a game. Alright, it's gonna be a big Chocobo. Oh god, that's gonna be a gigantic Chocobo. Perhaps an unstoppable one. Could have Overprotect too. I don't think he gains life in that deck. Does Overprotect give reach? I don't actually remember, but I have to play it. So let's shoot. Yeah, it's just opponent control, otherwise I would have totally shot the Nemesis. 7 out of 5. So if he attacks for too much damage, we will kill him with the Nemesis. There's Tifa. Alright, if he's setting up for one more turn, he's dead. He has to win this turn. I don't know if he can win. I mean, that is going to be a pretty big chocobo. And it's probably going to fight the Sarkhan. Or the Hellkite. I mean, I don't really think it matters whatever he fights, because the Nemesis will kill him. Alright, he did the fight. He's going to combat. Is he going to attack? No attacks. Wild. Just wild. Alright, so... how would he survive against this attack? Overprotect? How does he get reach? Yeah, no, that doesn't do it. GG. Sorry, Chocobo. Now get the F out of here. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those Red Dragon games, how does this deck feel? It's very good. I have to say, it is an incredibly strong, aggressive deck. I don't like aggressive decks because I'm always going second. Not to the detriment of the deck itself. Not to say that the deck is bad or the playstyle of aggression is bad. It's just not my personal habit because I'm always going second. And playing an aggressive deck going second just feels like a losing battle. Not even an uphill battle. It just feels like a losing battle most games in today's Magic. But this deck actually surprised me. It gave me such a good sort of early game curve that even when I'm going second, I was still just beating the heck out of my opponent. In so many games where our opponent just feels like they're struggling to really do anything to us because they have to answer all of our big dragon threats. And that's the best part, right? It's so aggressive and the dragons are so big that everything we play has to be answered. And because they're answering big things like Nova Hellkite or Magmatic Hellkite, or maybe even a Sarkhan that keep growing, they're not really looking at the higher claws of Burnout Bastronauts, and those actually killed our opponent more games than others. Right? More games are won by these cards than by these cards, I would say, because these cards, they're good, but they're really there just to threaten our opponent. Meanwhile, the chip damage from the higher claws, single attack, also giving us the treasure, allowing us to play these big threats is what really won us the game. So, that is to say, this deck works very well together. It synergizes incredibly well with one another, and I would say this is my go-to aggro deck. I don't like the Chocobo deck. It seems very finicky. It seems like I have to get the right creature or I'm not winning the game in mono green, right? This deck, on the other hand, I don't think it's as needy. I do think it's a lot stronger and it's doing exactly what I needed to do. Now, there's a few things I would adjust. The Obliterating Bolts, I don't think I need that. Sorcery speed is already making us slow, and dealing 4 damage instead of 3 damage just so that I can exile does not feel like it's something I have a strong feeling about. So we can cut the Obliterating Bolt out. I would say I'd probably add another Lightning Strike, because a few games I feel like our opponent's at 3. If I had a Lightning Strike, I just win. And then I might probably just add another Magmatic Hellkite. That would make it pretty strong, right? Having a fourth Hellkite makes it so it's more consistently drawn to stacks out our opponent. Because once their land comes into play stunned, we get an extra turn where our opponent's not ramped, and then we can kind of overrun our opponent while they're still trying to get their affairs in order. So, yeah, that's how I feel about this deck. Everything else is just perfect. It's such a good deck. And if you want to be not more aggressive, but more greedy, I could imagine a world where you cut a Soulstone Sanctuary, right? So we go down to 23 lands, and maybe keep the Magmatic Hellkite as is, and just put in 4 Magda. So many games where I had Higher Claw and Magda going turn 1, turn 2, I felt like that was a broken combo. I wish I could do it more, and obviously having 4 of Magda could allow us to do more. Magda is legendary, so you can't have more than 1, and that was kind of the consideration for why we didn't start off with 4 Magdas. But Magda does also give us a dragon if we sack 3 treasures. That dragon could be behold to Sarkhan, and then our Sarkhan will get bigger and all that good stuff, right? It's good jazz for the whole deck to synergize together, and it's a very lovely deck. I cannot wait for not Not the next set or the set after that. I cannot wait for Lorwyn when we're getting Changelings, hopefully. And Changelings is going to change up the meta so much. All these dragons will get more synergy. Oh my, that would be fun. But that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.